This is Kusi Achampong. Today I'm talking about money lessons for those in their 20s. In fact, why are you in school? All of us are working, schooling, doing all the things we are doing now because of money. Money is very, very important. That is the only way we can buy food, buy clothes, buy the things, the necessities of life. So it's important you learn about money, how to manage money. Many of us have gone through universities with several degrees, but we are still not knowledgeable about how to use money. And so I'm going to look at 7 financial lessons for those of us in our 20s so that we can prepare ahead of life. Now, the first point I want to look at is for you to learn everything you can about how money works. You see, the fact that you are in the university does not mean that you know how money works. The fact that you are reading accounting or finance does not really mean that you know how money works. As a 20-year-old, 25-year-old, 29-year-old person, you study, learn about money. And this one, you gather all the necessary books and read about money. So over the years, I've learned a great deal about money, how money works. When I was in my 20s, I had no idea about how money works. In fact, I did not save even a peso when I was in the university. I was just taking money with the idea that I was not receiving that much, so why should I even save? I didn't learn anything about money, even though I read some books about money, but I didn't know how money works. I had some friends who knew how money worked those days when we were in the university, and they were far ahead of us. They knew how money works at that time. They saved, they invested, they just made use of the compound interest, the benefits of compound interest. And they were far ahead of us when we all completed. And so the fact that you are reading accounting, yes, let me stress that, because sometimes we assume that we know, but we have no idea. And that's why I'm urging you to study, find books, and read about how money really works. You read them, just study and learn about how money really works. And I think you'll be amazed the things you have no idea of. So that is the first lesson I think you should know. It's a responsibility on you. Go and find the books and begin to learn about it, because all that we are doing, all the studying we are learning, accounting, the chemistry, the medicine, everything. If you finish school and they say that they're not going to pay you, I'm not sure you'll be happy. And that's why it's important to know everything about money and how money actually works. If you have watched up to this point, it would be great for you to subscribe to this channel, because I'm going to talk about how to manage your finances and what to do and what not to do. So it's important to subscribe so that whenever I upload a new video, you get to know, and then hit the notification bell so that whenever there's a new video, you'll be notified. Now, the second lesson is for you to set concrete savings goals. Do you have any goal for your savings? Do you actually even save? Let me start from there. Many of us in our 20s, early 20s, think that since we are in school, we shouldn't save. We have received money from our uncles, our parents, our friends, and loved ones all the time, but we have refused to save. But I think that if you can set concrete saving goals and say that, okay, from now onwards, I'm going to save 1 Ghana cedis, or any money that comes to me, I'll save 10% or even 5% or even 1%. The rationale is to cultivate the habit of savings. So set the concrete goal. Say that, okay, by the end of 2022, I want to have 500 Ghana cedis in my account as a student. I want to have 3,000 Ghana cedis. I have to have 10,000 Ghana cedis in my savings account. Whatever you are doing as a student or as a worker, an employee, somebody who is working, set concrete financial goals. If you don't do that, the year will come and go and you may not have nothing, because money left will find something to do. So, second lesson, set concrete savings goals. Now, the third lesson is to know where your money goes. How do you spend your money? Most of us just spend when you have the money. We actually cannot tell the last month how we spent our money, how much we spent on data. A lot of young people are obsessed about data. How much we spend on TNT, how much you spend on food, how much you spend on other things. It's important you know what you are spending your money on. It's important. And so the third lesson I want you to know is to now begin to track where your money goes. The things you buy, the data you buy all the time, the food, the dresses, the shoes. Just track every month so that you can tell, okay, every month I spend 20 cedis on food, every month I spend 30 cedis on food, every month I spend 100 cedis on data, every month I spend this and that miscellaneous, I spend 30 cedis. You know all these things. It makes you become focused because you know how and where your monies are going. So the third lesson is to know where your monies are going. Track your expenses, everything, track them. Just track them for the first month. You can decide that from 1st January to 31st January, I'm going to track how I spend my money, expenditure, and you'll be amazed how the things you have been spending on. So just learn this and begin to track all your expenses. That is the third lesson for us. The fourth lesson, money lesson, for those of us in our 20s, is to delay gratification. You see, we are bombarded every day with several things. The kind of marketing we see these days, when you're on social media, many things are flashing, are just flying. And if you are not the type who can delay your gratification, you'll be buying things anyhow, anytime, because they will look nice, they will look attractive, and those companies want you to spend. But if you can delay that expense for just 24 hours, you can delay that gratification you get from that thing you want to buy for some time. You'll be amazed that you may not be even interested in that thing anymore. As somebody in your 20s, cultivate the habit of delaying purchases. Delay that purchase. If you want to probably buy a new dress, you delay it for some time, for probably 24 hours. Because some of us in our offices, you'll be there, somebody will come, your colleague who is into buying and selling, will bring an item and you see it's beautiful, it's fitting, it looks nice on you. But if you can just pause and tell the person to come in less than 24 hours, you see that interest may not be there anymore for that dress. And I think when you begin to do that, you realize that there's so many things you don't even need, but because at that material moment they were nice and you had the money on you, you just purchased. But if you can cultivate the habit of delaying the temptation to buy an item instantly, I'm sure you'll save a lot of money. So, and money, something that you are learning now is to learn to delay gratification. Now, the fifth lesson is to plan your financial future. Now, from now, 5 years to 10 years, how do you want your financial status to be like? It's very, very interesting. Many people have been working for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, but they don't have anything to show financially for all those years. They've been working, but if you ask them to give you 10,000 now, or maybe 2,000, they don't have that in investment, they don't have it in their saving, they don't have that money with them. They have been just relying on the monthly salary. They spend everything, they don't save anything, they have nothing to show for all the years that they've been working. And that's why, as a 20-year-old person, you should plan your financial future. Plan for that future. How much you want to have in your account in 10 years' time? Whether you're in a university or you've started work, you are married in the 20s, whatever it is. 10 years to come, how much money do you want to have in your investment? How much money do you want to have in your savings account? How much money do you want to have? What should be your net worth in 10 years' time? And you have to be specific about this money. State the amount that you want and how you're going to get there. And if you don't plan for your financial future, 10 years will definitely come. You'll be alive. You'll be amazed. The reason why people start reducing their ages when retirement confronts them is they don't plan their financial future. And don't be one of them. Start early. That's why I'm talking to you. Because when you start early, the compound interest works in your favor. Plan your financial future. That's the 5th lesson. The 6th money lesson for those of us in our 20s is to plan your retirement now. I just spoke about planning for your financial future, and I think that you should start thinking about your retirement. Why am I saying it? Most of us assume that when you are 25 and you have a job, you have about 35 years. That is far away. When I started work, I was 27 years. 13 years ago. I have only 20 years left for me to retire. So it's important to plan your retirement now. Just because you want compound interest to work in your favor. So start. Yes, net is there. But it's important that aside what the government and whatever you are putting aside for SNET and other retirement opportunities, you have to plan your own retirement. Start saving for your retirement. Assume that you don't have any retirement package aside. I just assume because you don't want to get to retirement and now you have to cut down your lifestyle totally because the money you receive from SNET may not be enough. In fact, it will not be enough. It will never be the same amount you're receiving whilst in active service. So it's better you plan your own retirement, and it's very, very important you start early in your 20s. You see, the amount doesn't really matter. Whatever, start something small and then gradually increase it percentage-wise every year. But if you don't and assume that you are going to rely on whatever you get from Social Security and National Insurance Trust, SNET, you'll be surprised. You'll be laughing at the wrong side of your mouth and get retirement. So it's important that we plan for our retirement. I'm thinking about my retirement. I'm busily planning my retirement, what I'm going to do. It's because you don't live life to chance. You pray, you plan, and put system in place to achieve your plans. So that's the 6th lesson. Don't assume that you are still young, you are too young. Start planning for your retirement. Lesson 6. The last lesson, lesson 7. Start now. Start now. If you look at all these lessons, learn everything about money and how money works, have a concrete savings goals, know where your money goes, learn to delay gratification, plan for your financial future, plan for retirement now. And the last lesson, and that is the actionable lesson, start now. If you are in level 100, at least you receive money from your parents. If you have completed school and you are in national service, the 559, don't assume that it's so small. Start saving out of it. Even if it's 1 CD, save it. I don't think you say 1 CD from that 559. If you have started working, save 10%, 20%, 30%, whatever percentage. The important thing is start now. Think about your future. Think about 10, 15, 20 years to come. And that's why the last lesson here is not anything but to start now. We all receive money one way or the other, whether it's a dash or monthly salary. Money comes through our hands every day. And so don't think that the money that you receive is so small that you can't save anything out of it. You can save. Just decide that you are going to start now. If you don't have a bank account, go and get a bank account. Keep the money somewhere. Probably this will be a bonus lesson. Keep the money in such a way that it will be difficult for you to access it. because you are learning the habit of saving and you are planning your financial future. So it's important if it's possible, if you can automate the process. But if you can't automate the process and you have to manually take the money and go and invest, just learn that habit. It may be difficult, but you look at your situation now. If you are not financially sound now, you want to be in this state forever, or you want to change some years to come. You don't want to change, you want to get better financially. So if you want to get better financially, then you must take actionable steps. You must act now and start now and begin to think about how your financial life will be 10, 20, 30 years to come. If you are struggling financially now, I'm not sure you want to still be struggling when you have 3 children or 4 children or even 1, or you even have no children. You don't want to still be struggling. You don't want to be struggling 5 to 10 years to come when you are struggling now. So you can change that only by putting these measures in place in your 20s. Then I believe that if you do this, you change your financial life. If you have watched up to this point, it would be great for you to subscribe to this channel, because I'm going to talk about how to manage your finances and what to do and what not to do. So it's important to subscribe so that whenever I upload a new video, you get to know, and then hit the notification bell so that whenever there's a new video, you'll be notified. If you have already subscribed, thank you, and keep on enjoying my videos.